This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store, Forged Irish Stout, freebets.com. Delighted to be joined with Johnny Clark, the big man. He's made some time for me in Dubai. Even on Valentine's Day, mate, you still find time to, with your missus, you still find time to speak to me, mate. So, how are things?
Yeah, I'm in the doghouse, but yeah, I'm all good, mate. We planned this trip. One, it was a push present for the missus, and I knew after the show I'd need a break. And it's Valentine's Day as well, so I'm kind of like hitting 3 targets with one. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose just before we do get into the February 10th show, boxing is a game where you can't really sleep and you don't really get much time off. So I'm sure you appreciate holidays when you do get them.
Yeah, but I've been on my phone non-stop since I got here. That's why I said, yeah, I'm grafting, so more than happy to do an interview. More than happy.
Absolutely, I appreciate it, mate. And we just had your February 10th show just gone. I suppose a few highlights of the card. James Osbourne getting a great win over Grant Dennis. Some really, really impressive performances out there. When you do look back on a show that it's, it had its hiccups during during sort of all the way up to fight week. I'm happy with how it went on February 10th.
I'm proud of it, very proud of it. Because what we showed is, you see in Small Hall, a lot of shows get cancelled. In fact, I had 2 fights on my show from a cancelled show previous to mine a week before. But I wouldn't cancel it, even though it come close to, like, obviously financial side needing to cancel it. I said, no, we'll keep it on no matter what. Obviously, if there's a loss, I'll swallow it. And then what we got from the show was worth it. So, yeah, it was a lot of stress and headaches. But as you said, like, James Osbourne now, he's up to number 11 in the UK. And I'm part of that story for him. So, yeah, I'm very proud of how it went.
Definitely. I suppose we will touch on a few performances on the card. James Osbourne being the standout one. Having that faith in him and putting him on your cards, and obviously he had all the issues with the December card where he obviously that fight pulled off on fight day. To be delivering a big fight and then to get that big win as well, you must be proud as a promoter to deliver that faith and get repaid.
Yeah, 100%. The honesty that I am, I owed him. Where he had an opponent pull out on weigh day, I felt like I owed him. So it's the first purse I've ever paid in boxing was to Grant, you know what I mean, to come on boxing at 50-50, just because I wanted to make James's story in boxing a little bit better for him. So I feel like I delivered for him now. He's up to 11. Grant was very good. It was a tough fight, very close. Grant started well, but everyone told me that Grant would finish stronger. But I said, why? I believe in Ozzy, and Ozzy done that. So he finished strong, and I'm very proud to be a part of it. His first fight on my show was against Ray Bell, who was 2-0. Straight in the 50-50, and him and his coach was like, well, Ozzy weren't wary, but his coach was. And I said, just put your faith in me, win, lose or draw, I'll put you on every show. I said, I like Ozzy, he's local. I see him in Civic Hall, unlicensed fights when he started boxing. Yeah. No amateur background. So I want to be a part of that. And they put their faith in me and they've all messaged me, you're a man of your word. I said, always will be. I'm not paying the next purse, just so you know. Yeah. And then the stablemate Kevin Revell, unbelievable. I put my faith in him as well, win, lose or draw. And he really showed what I knew he could do. I don't know if you see the highlight reels going out of him dancing around the ring, bit of showboating. It was so nice to see, I promise you. His son's face afterwards with his missus. It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful.
What would you like for Ozzy now? You said he's number 11 in the UK. Another big fight against him, sort of, I suppose a step above. Like obviously he's only 5-0 now, I believe. So fighting Grant Dennis, who's been in some experienced pros. Is it more sort of full steam ahead, or would you like to pump the brakes a little bit?
That's I think he broke his knuckle on fight night. So me personally, maybe an eliminator, maybe a silver com. Anything like that, southern area, and then up maybe 2 fights time, maybe go for an English, he's capable of doing anything he wants in my eyes. So, yeah, up to him and his coach. He's obviously beaten, but I'm there to help him with whatever.
And there was obviously some top tier debuts as well. Harley Whitwell, who I was there for a pro debut, very impressed, and impressed for a top tier debut as well. Very, very exciting fighter that she is.
Listen, she's on the next one. She's on the next one. No choice of it. No choice of it. They put their faith in me. I put my faith in them. A lovely family. And I watch the corner. I've got 3 daughters myself. And when I see the dads and daughter, their connection in the corner, I didn't tear up. You know what I mean? I'm a geezer. Yeah. But it was emotional. And I shook his hand. I said, I'm proud to be a part of that. She tore her opponent to bits. Body shots. mate, bloody. She made my canvas full of blood,
Yeah.
and she enjoyed it, and the respect and the appreciation, it meant so much to me. So we had a little chat, and we'll have her on the next one. Yeah,
Absolutely. And I suppose another guys like Will Hamilton as well, putting in good performances. Who was sort of most impressed by from that show on Saturday night?
it would have been Kevin or Harley. Will was amazing, but he told me he was going to knock him out, so I was expecting it. But I didn't know Harley was so spiteful. You know, she's very nice spoken, seems a bit angelic. And when she was in the ring, she was an animal. I was like, fucking hell. I was like, honestly, and I was so shocked. And then she come out after all the blood. The other team sent me a picture of their fight kit covered in blood. And they went, we loved every minute of it. Thank you for your hospitality. I was like, you was crazy. But yeah, it was a great fight. She's going to want to try and step up on the next one, and she's going to push on to titles, I'm sure.
Definitely. And obviously, I feel like every time we do an interview, we have to always talk about the things that are negative, and it feels like we're always talking about pullouts from fight week. I suppose this one was no different. You know, as you said, 2 retirements, losing an English title fight, broken arms, and that's 5 on one hand. And I might have missed a couple. Another sort of frustrating,
like 6 or 7.
6, 7, like frustrating once again. Would you say?
Yeah, very. This was called Chaos because the original card for this had about 6 titles on. And then within a week, I had to change all of that because of injuries, so many excuses. And then I see them popping up elsewhere. It was frustrating. So I called it Chaos because this card took me a week to build. But I've done it in a week. And then, to be honest with you, I plan to do my next show in this week. So I'm just finalising that. But yeah, even on the fight day, I have to give a shout out to Darren Seeley. He's been out training with Ozzy, come back to the UK. He's in Essex sparring Anthony Joshua. And then on the way in, the opponent just weren't heavy enough. Paul, his original opponent, who beat him on his debut. And that was on Wednesday, and I had like an hour to sort it. We couldn't sort the foreign opponent, and then we sorted in English. But they come to me, the opponent, and said, we can do heavy. I put it in, Paul accepted, but they rang me and said he needs to be in the heavyweight limit. I said, yeah, obviously. And then he come in £10 under. I was like,
fucking hell, yeah.
So then that was like literally 3:30 on the fight day. And then, so that was the first fight off the card. Then the second fight, Amy, she read the running order upside down. So she didn't get there to about half hour before she was meant to fight. So they had to put the third fight second and then her third. It was frustrating. And then Conor Hathaway, he had a bit of a war with a journeyman, if I'm being honest, but it was beautiful. It's exactly what I asked for. If a journeyman comes on the show, I don't want him to run around the ring. He did. He caught Luke Thrash, caught Conor Hathaway with a flash knockdown. That's a tongue twister. And then he got up and he punched his head in. Unbelievable boxing. And it's the same as Constantine Ursu. You know, they've got a lovely style. So full credit to their gym in Plymouth.
And as you say, when you deal with these pullouts, and it's sort of the theme for every fight that you have now, how much does it show? You've always said to me that, you know, I am a problem solver. At the end of the day, there will always be a show on. How much do you feel like is a credit to yourself and people that you work with that, you know, no matter what, we are going to get a show on, you know, you will get opponents or there will be a show on Saturday night? Yeah,
I think it's massive because, like you see, like the big boys, they had a massive pullout. Like, was it for 4 heavyweight belts, and then the whole rest of the card went as well. But in small hall, there's not much money. Everything's to the knife edge, whether you're going to break even or lose money. And, you know, more often than not, shows do lose money. And then, like, imagine if 2 fights pull out, 3 fights pull out, and you're left with 6 or 7 fights, and you think, well, there's no money in them. They haven't sold enough tickets. But if you pulled that whole card, then maybe some of the boxers that are on my show this time, they wouldn't be eligible for their titles the next show. So then we dig deep, graph, shout out to our sponsors. Without them, the shows would definitely not go ahead. So yeah, we just graph to make sure, and I think everyone that's been on my show, they can train and rest assured that no matter what, I'll be fighting on that day. You know, where sometimes there's question marks whether a show's going to go ahead. We never have that. Touch wood.
I was going to say, like, have you ever came close to pulling cards? Because we have seen, you know, I'm not trying to throw other small hall promotions under the bus, but you've seen multiple times, you know, cards pulled or fighters pulled on fight week, you know, cards pulled very, very close to the show. And I'm sure that's not something that you want to do because you are providing these guys with opportunities.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, if you look at most other small hall shows, there's not much money in them. They don't spend a lot of money at their shows, you know. Yeah. Whereas I put everything into the shows. Like I would easily say my shows cost 40, 50, 60 grand more than most what I've seen around with the production levels that we have. So if we're losing a lot compared to them, you know. So, yeah, I would say that I feel gutted when it happens. I'd never look at an event that loses and smiles because I think of all the boxers that was on it. Yeah. Not to mention, them boxers could be on one of my shows one day, and if they had that win, they could have been in for a title. So, yeah, it's not nice to see, but it's so hard. And I see a lot of boxers, like, there was like a little meme going around of boxers that have to pay for their opponent, they have to do this, and they want purses, they should be paid to fight. And it's true, I'd love to pay everyone to fight. But if then now you can put 50 bums on a seat, I'd do it. Like when I was promoting music, you know, I was putting on music events. I'd hire the best DJ and the best MC because they'd bring a sold-out crowd with them, so I can afford to pay them. But if a boxer's not selling out a venue, how can I afford to pay them? So that's the struggle at the moment. But top tier, believe it or not, we're building quite a good brand. So hopefully by the end of next year, people will just buy tickets off a website because they know when they come to my show, full of 50-50s, full of good fights, even a journeyman like Luke, they give it a good go, you know, and you're going to be in for a quality night. And all the companies I sell my tables to and tickets in the stands, they're agreeing with me. Like, I want to be at the next one. They're not coming for a Will Hamilton. They're not coming for Conor Hathaway. They're coming to see the whole event because they know I'm going to give it my all. There's going to be a good little night out of it, and you're going to see 10 quality fights.
I was going to say though, you mentioned about the purses, and do you feel like with the standard that you set, necessarily boxers or people that are on the show, they do expect a little bit more in a way?
Yeah, I could, to be honest with you, I could drop down a level of production, drop down a level of everything, not film it, you know, stick it in a hall, and then with the sponsors and everything, I could then probably cover some purses. But would I get the sponsors if I was at that level? No. Would I could sell enough tables if it was in a smaller hall? Probably not. So it swings and roundabouts, you know, like they want to be on the shows, it'll be ticket deals, you know, I'm not greedy either. No massive house fees and all that like the rest do. I do it as fair as I can because the main thing for me isn't how many's in the crowd, it's the actual fight in the ring. No one's ever going to talk to me about the crowd, although they did it because Amancio Parachute really brought a big crowd of him. Yeah. But most people will do the highlight reels, you know, like the Tyrone King and Lorenzo Grasso highlight reel. No one talked about the crowd in that. They spoke about the 2 knockdowns in 20 seconds. You know, so it isn't about the crowd for me. It isn't about the ticket sellers. Watch the highlight reels of the main event, Grant versus Ozzy. Told you, Grant got a purse, so there was no one in there for him. Everyone stayed to watch Ozzy, but it looked like the stand was empty, even though it wasn't. Yeah. That's just how it looks. So I'm not putting the biggest ticket sellers last. I'm putting the best fight last. I'm a bit different to everyone else. Where most people may have put Amancio Parachute last because he had the biggest crowd there, so it looked more packed. But no, I don't want that. I want the best fighters getting the best times. And if you're fighting a journeyman, you're either going to be before we go live on TV or on YouTube, or you might get the first fight as we go live, but you'll never go at the end of the card due to ticket sales with me. Big difference.
That's completely fair enough. As I said, not many people do it like that. As you tend to see your small hall shows, you may have, you know, the area fight might be the middle of the card in a sense. You have the biggest ticket sellers on the end. So do you prefer, as you said, you prefer doing it that way where, you know, the whoever sort of the biggest fights are always at the last. So it has that anticipation.
Yeah, so it's just being rewarded. You know, sell tickets you're meant to. That's you getting paid and us getting paid. But for me, the best fight, taking a dangerous fight like Ozzy did, then you should be at the end. Now, there's no way you should be on first. You should feel special, you know. And I know selling big tickets, like for someone having his debut, they're going to sell a lot, you know. So should a debut be last, or you know? So that's how I like to do it. I know, like a lot of people may disagree, but for me, I'm not saying I'm going to reward someone for selling loads of tickets versus a journeyman, rather than a 50-50 who's come here to give it his record, maybe lose his own. So yeah, it's about reward and discipline. Main thing, discipline.
And one thing I did want to ask you, you know, when you do have pullouts and you put a lot of effort into these fighters, for example, you know, Zahid Hussein and Andre Grant, an English title fight, you put a lot of effort into into the fighters, and then when this happens and then it ends up pulling out, or you invest a lot into a fighter and with promo videos and that, and they end up pulling out, do you ever sort of wonder to yourself, like, why do I bother? Like, I don't need to be doing this. So like, you don't get repaid in a way. Do you ever think that, like, what is the point of me doing it?
Yeah, to be honest, the first thought was, how the fuck is that he going to handle this? Yeah. How is he going to handle it? I didn't know how to tell him. I was sad myself. Like, I told him what loss I took on the show financially before that pullout. And then I said to him, but I'm more sad for what he's lost. Yeah. And then he said, I won't do his accent. I can't do it. But he said, I was expecting it. It's not hit me that hard yet. And I said, I've got Conor Hathaway. I could see if he could make weight and try and get it in with the board. But it was too much of a rush. They wouldn't allow it. Yeah. And check weights weren't done for the 3-week period. Yeah. But he didn't turn up to the presser day I had at Lakeside Shopping Centre. You was there. And if someone don't turn up to that, I should have had an inkling then, really, and punished him. But that's learning. Next time I will do that. But instead, I believed he was at work. I sent my videographers to go and do a promo video shoot for him and Zahid. You know, they got all the love still. So I'm a couple grand into this now. And then on fight week, Monday, he pulls out. And I'm like, I felt it was coming. And I was more disappointed than my gut feeling. And just kept believing what I was being told by the boxer. So, yeah, it's hard. And the good honest truth is there's no way of getting used to it. You kind of get a funny feeling in your stomach on fight week. Like, my wife posted a photo of me, her, and the kid in bed, you know? Yeah. And then I put, like, a little caption, be prepared, Mum, it's fight week, you know? I reshared it with that. And she was like, oh, I can't wait. And then there was weigh-in day. And on the weigh-in day last time, George O'Leary walked off the scales. The weigh-in before, Jordan Dujon got COVID where he couldn't come out of his house, like that bad. Yeah. So last 2 weigh-ins, both my main events fell off. So this weigh-in, I was thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen? And it was the smoothest one yet.
So, typical, isn't it? Typical. And I suppose now, when you have, and you know, I'm not trying to, you know, whatever happened to Andre Grant, not trying to throw him under the bus, but when you have people who, you know, don't turn up to media events or don't sort of do their media obligations, which is obviously important for yourself as you're investing in them, do you feel like you want to be a little bit more ruthless now and sort of, if you're not going to be obliged, I'm not going to do anything to help you as well?
Well, the story is they approached me to be on my show, Grant's team, Andre Grant's team, sorry. So I wasn't paying for the fight, you know, so I was happy to do it. But I said to him, like, you not turning up's only done you a wronging, because you'd be selling more tickets if you done your media stuff, you know. People will be sharing it and people will be interested in the fight. They'd have seen the back and forth with the head-to-heads and you would have sold more tickets. So in my head, I was thinking, well, I'm not paying for it. If I was paying for it, then yeah, I would 100% have cut it there and then and put Conor Hathaway in. But I would have done that. But yeah, I wasn't paying the person. So I was like, no, I'm absolutely fine with this, you know. But in my head, I was like, do I trust him? He's done it before. And then obviously his opponent, Zahid, is a top quality fella. He was like, just keep an eye on it. So I was like, look, I've chased the check weights book. This is booked. Just posted his fight gloves. Like, we're ready to go, I promise you. And then on the Monday, I got the message and I was like, here we go again. This is boxing, as everyone tells me. This is boxing.
Yeah. Well, I suppose we will look forward to April 27th. Obviously, another show. Looking forward to another show, as I said, in the first half of 2024.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround. I mean, this is why I'm here in Dubai now, because 2 shows in 10 weeks, a baby being born. The old man was in a bad way in the hospital, but he's safe now, thank God. And I just thought, let me get the missus away, you know, because you're not really there. You know, I'm in the same room as them, but my head's in the phone, or my head's thinking, is that going to happen? Shall I get that prepared? Have I ordered this for the show? Have I done that for the show? She's all over the place. Like, she put a photo up of a 10-day-old baby and a 10-week-old baby with 2 of my accessible area passes on from before the show. Yeah. And I felt so bad. I was honest. I actually felt emotional, thinking, where have I been? Even though I've been with them every day, I thought, where have I been? Now that 10 weeks has flown by. So now, nice little break. Sort the card out while I'm here. Possibly 2 women's titles on the show. Okay. The Commonwealth and English, and an eliminator for the Commonwealth with that English. Just waiting for the circuit to come out now, whether we got that. So the thing is, with women boxing, there's not many fights, so trying to skip it a bit and get in there early. It should be allowed. It should be 3-0 versus 3-1, so I'm hoping it'll be allowed. Maybe a European. We're having a look. It's just whether we can get it past for one of the other boxers. Be Stelios Papadopoulos.
Okay.
Hopefully a Commonwealth silver. Trying to get Ursu back on. Just wait for the opponent, 5.5. His quality low is so hard to match. Like, listen, no one wants it with him.
Yeah.
I've tried everyone and everything.
Yeah.
So I just said to him, you've got to be seen more. So I'll try and get you out, and then you've got to go on to the big boys, because no one's going to want at this level. He's a monster, they're all telling me. So, yeah, and then, Taylor Jordan, because he didn't get his licence in time, I put him back on. Lenny Fuller, he's on. We're looking for a 50-50 for him. But there's a card next week, so I'll wait for a couple of results to come off that.
Yeah.
And a couple more surprises that I'll leave to announce for you.
Absolutely, definitely. And just before we do close this off, I'm going to sort of ask you a little bit of a different question. I was sort of speaking about it with Abdul yesterday, I believe, and we obviously see it. All the promoters are starting to get a bit friendly now. You know, we're seeing Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren together. I think we see Nielsen Boxing and TM14 doing a show together. On the Friday of last week, I was at a GBM show. Could we see him?
I knew he was going to say that one. I knew that one was coming.
A top TV GBM 5v5 maybe. Would that ever sort of be on the horizon for you, or ever something you'd look at?
I'll be honest, with the level that I've got on my show, I'd like to go for boxer, you know?
Okay.
I'd like to go for boxer. Listen, I'm on Sky 186, so why not go for them? They pick 5 and I'll pick 5. And I'll show you, there's boys at my level that can do it at that level. They're just not given a chance. They're just not given it. Like, take Ursu, for instance. Who's going to beat him? Yeah. Not many. I promise you that, if he's close on world level. So I would rather them take on a small hall show and give light to what we've got down here. But what Izzy's doing up there, I love it. I'll say it. Like, he's north, I'm the south. There's not much difference between us, other than he does his own press conferences. But there's not much difference. He's doing what I would love to do and what I do. So, yeah, fair play to him. But, I don't think... was it TM14 and Nielsen? Have they set where they're going to do it yet? Or?
I don't think so. They just sort of announced that it would be happening. I think this is like a 10v10 actually. So
10v10. Nice.
Yeah,
I'll definitely go to that as well. It's exciting, and you're going to get 50-50 then. And that's what everyone wants to see. Like, I see, listen, I was shouting it when I come into the sport. I said, I'm not doing this for journeymen. I'm doing this for the 50-50s. Yeah. Everyone's shouting it from the rooftops now, and I agree with it all. So if you've got two promoters going against each other, that's a show where I would buy a ticket. So well done to them.
Absolutely. Johnny, just want to say thank you for taking time to speak to me. Always good to catch up with you, mate. Always good to see you. And looks like in that reflection, looks like the view looks very nice, mate, from where you are. So, yeah, go on. Yeah, mate. Very, very nice. Very jealous, mate. Very, very jealous.
That's it, mate. I better get in there to the missus. I better get in there to the missus before I end up sleeping out here. I will sleep out here.
Absolutely, yeah, mate. Not too well. I can think of worse places to sleep out. So, yeah, mate. Appreciate the time as always. Yeah, all the best for April 27th.
Cheers, mate. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
We need to think of a new advert for freebets.com.
Get your best betting offers from freebets.com.
Yeah, that'll do.
The following deals are now live.